What's going on, everybody? Mile High back here with another video. Today I'm going to be using a TownHall 13 Super Yeti bat attack strategy. It's kind of similar to the TownHall 14 attack strategy that I used, but instead of bringing all earthquake spells, we're just going to be bringing one set and then substituting the rest out for bats. And this is actually a really strong attack. So for equipments, I'm using the electro boots and the rocket spear, which isn't necessary. On the king, I'm using the earthquake boots and the giant gauntlet. If you have earthquake boots spiky ball, that's better, but again, neither of those are necessary. It's not that vital to the attack. Warden, I'm using double books. This is the only equipment that I say you must have is the Eternal Tome. And then for the queen, I'm using healer puppet, giant arrow. But whatever equipments you have leveled up, use that. And like I said, just make sure you have the Eternal Tome on the warden. So we're going to hop into a friendly challenge first. I'm going to show you guys how to use this, and then we'll get into some multiplayer attacks. Alright, so all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to use maybe one Super Yeti on each of these flanks right here, just to set that funnel. And then I'm probably going to wall break in both of these walls right here. And then everything else is just going to go down in this corner here in the middle. And then we're going to get down our log launcher, which is going to shoot straight down the middle. It'll go over top of the eagle, over top of the clan castle. Should get pretty good value. And you're just going to let them get into the base a ways. And then I'm going to be dropping all of my bat spells down back here, same position I dropped in the rest of my troops, and I'm just going to let them push in a ways. And then I want to hit my Eternal Tome ability about here when we have a bunch of bats spawned inside that Eternal Tome, and it'll also protect all of our troops as well. And then your bats are going to be invincible for whatever time your Eternal Tome is active. Obviously, the higher level you have it, the better, the longer it'll be active, and it just shreds through the base. So I'm going to show you guys how overpowered this can really be. We're just going to get rid of the drawing real quick, and we're going to press attack. And like I said, it's very simple as well. And you just got to decide where you want to drop your earthquakes as well. For me, I'm going to drop it up by the town hall because I'm not worried about opening the rest of these walls down here. It should be very easy to do because of our log launcher. Like I said, we're just going to get one Super Yeti on each side. We're going to let that work for just a second. We'll wall break both of those corners just like we anticipated. Everything else in the middle, now that the funnel's set, we're going to warden first. I'm going to shoot the Queen's Giant Arrow just because that's what I'm using. But if you have something better, like even the action figure or the magic mirror, obviously that's better. So we're going to push in here. We're going to let our troops get a little further into the base. We're going to delay our bats and our royal champion. So we're going to see which way our warden's kind of going, and then we're going to drop in our bat spells now. We're going to get in our royal champion as well. Let your bats start swarming up. You want to get a bunch of them to spawn in and a bunch of them to get protected by your Eternal Tome, and then we're going to use it. Unfortunately, we lost a whole bunch of them over to the left side, but we still did get a pretty decent amount in the warden ability. We take out the multi-inferno. This wasn't the greatest value out of my bats because I did get a lot going over to the left. I should have used my ability a little bit earlier, so I protected all those ones through that wizard tower. It was pretty bad execution by me, but as you see, we're shredding through this base. There's so much distraction for your heroes. We're going to use our king's ability now. Hopefully he can get through that single inferno before he goes down. It's going to be close. I just need one shot from the royal champion, and of course the king does go down. But there's basically no defenses left now because your bats obviously target straight to defenses. So your defenses get wiped out, and it just protects your heroes. Then you can just use your heroes to surge through the backside of the base. Somehow our ice golem is still alive. I'm not sure how that survived, but that's supposed to die on the entry most of the time. But somehow it didn't. And this is just cleanup at this point, but it is a live attack, so I'm not going to be able to speed this up really. We'll just wait for this to get cleaned up. Hopefully our royal champion can stay alive because the electro boots would do a really good job. The last defense does go down. We just have to hope she doesn't die to a giant bomb or something like that. We got our queen on the left side. We still have two Super Yetis and the warden. Like I said, we really poorly executed that bat wave, and we still ended up crushing this base. I mean, it's not crushed as much as some of these multiplayer attacks you're going to see coming up, but nonetheless, even without getting good value out of the bats, it's still crushed, which just shows you how strong this attack really is. We just got 3 buildings left to clean up here. Royal Champion's going to get those 2, and then the Queen will get the last one. So nice crushing 3-star. So let's go get into some multiplayer attacks now. Alright, into our first attack, as you see, this is like worst case scenario for a base you can run into with this attack because we've got 3 multi-inferno towers, and they're all spread out, all in separate compartments. So this is like the last kind of base you want to see, but it's not going to matter. We're still going to crush it regardless. We use an Ice Golem and 1 Super Wizard, or Super Yeti rather, on each side to funnel. Because as you see, there was a lot of incoming damage. That's why we used the Ice Golems there. with the funneling Yetis, just to try to keep them alive a little longer. We got our bats going in. We got our RC going in. We're going to let a big wave spawn up, and then we're going to protect them. As you see, most of our bats are over here at the left. They're starting to shred through these defenses. Protected from these multi-infernos. That multi-inferno on the left goes down. TownHall's going down to the log launcher. The multi-inferno at the top obviously went down because that's why we passed from that direction. So now there's only one multi left. We do have an Electro Dragon coming out of the clan castle, but our Royal Champion should be able to deal with that no problem. And my Royal Champion is only level 11, and it's still really good with this attack. If you guys have a higher level Royal Champion, you'll overkill bases even more than this. Super Yetis over here. Take out the last multi-inferno. So now there's not a whole lot left that can stop us, and we've still got 2 or 3 Super Yetis there with a normal Yeti out of our log launcher. We have our Warden, Queen, and King all healthy down here with like 3 or 4 Super Yetis still alive. So this base is going to be absolutely crushed, even though this is worst case scenario. If you guys are using this in war, I would try to identify, if you have choices, I would identify bases with single Infernos. Because if you run into single Infernos, it's just absolutely going to decimate the base. Because your bats really have nothing to worry about except for wizard towers, and when they're invincible from your Eternal Tome, they're just going to get so much value. Shred through all the Inferno towers. We're going to just 2x through this now. Actually, we're just going to 4x through this because, again, it's just cleanup. The only thing left is an Expo. We still have 3 heroes up. Still have some Super Yetis alive. So another nice 3-star. Let's go hop into another attack now. Alright, so this time we have 1 single Inferno and 2 multis. But this time, we've got all the Inferno towers in the same compartment. So we're going to be able to melt these. I'm just going to drop both my Ice Golems and all my Super Yetis in a line this time. We'll get everything going. We'll shoot our Queen's Giant Arrow. And that Giant Arrow, paired with my Earthquakes, has already almost taken out that Eagle, which is really nice. So it's going to be basically one shot. So we're going to delay a second here, get our bats in, get our Royal Champion in. That cannon's going to go down, and then we should be able to get everything in the Eternal Tome here. We should get really good value out of this Eternal Tome. We get quite a few bats. And our normal troops are also tanking the multi-infernos, so it really helps keep your bats alive. TownHall's going to go down to the log launcher. We use the King ability just to open up that compartment, and he was about to go down. So everything's pushing into the core. Our log launcher got big value. All the Inferno towers are already gone. Queen's down at the bottom. She's really low health, but I don't think she's going to go down. The Super Yeti should be able to tank for her. We got our Royal Champion. Her Rocket Spear just wore off. We have our entire pack of Super Yetis with our 2 normal Yetis out of the log launcher. King is going to go down at the top there, but there's nothing left in this base. There's a couple Archer Towers, a Wizard Tower. There's 1 Scatter Shot outside there. We're going to completely overwhelm this. We just gutted through this core. This was a really fast 3-star as well. I should have looked at the timer at the beginning to see how fast this really was. But we just cruised through this base. So we're going to 2x again. That base stood absolutely no chance. Queen's going to take out the Archer Tower, and now it's just cleanup. Just a builder hell left. I don't even think we lost more than 2 Super Yetis there. We had a lot of them still alive at the end. So let's go hop into another one now. Alright, so here's a perfect example. This base has 3 single Infernos, so this one stands absolutely no chance. And we also have a lot of splash damage here at the bottom. We got 2 Wizard Towers right here, another one there, and another one there. So we should be able to take out 3 or 4 Wizard Towers with our Super Yetis and our heroes, which should leave us a lot of room for our bats to just cruise through this base. So our Ice Golems did go off, which froze up at the beginning, froze up that Minion Prince, which is kind of nice, gets our Queen to target it finally. And we're going to send our big wave of bats in. Like I said, a lot of these Wizard Towers are going down early, and I hit the ability early because my King was locked onto by that single Inferno and I wanted to protect him. As you see, our bats get through this Wizard Tower while under the Eternal Tome. That other Wizard Tower goes down. We got bats up here taking down the single Inferno. We still have bats alive down here doing a good job tanking. This base is going to be crushed because our bats did finally die off, but basically the rest of our army is still alive because our bats cruised out ahead and tanked everything and did a bunch of damage. The enemy Warden goes down. Royal Champion is targeted onto the Town Hall, so you should get that no problem. We got some Valkyries getting sprung by Spring Chops out of our log launcher. I think I actually only have 1 Valkyrie in there. But we have, what, 1, 2, 3 Super Yetis at the bottom with our King, Queen, and Warden. Our Wizard's actually still alive, too. Then we have 3, I think, maybe 2 or 3 Super Yetis up here with the 2 Super Yetis, or the 2 regular Yetis out of the log launcher. Yeah, this one's going to be absolutely decimated. Just look at this. What do we have left? A Wizard Tower, Archer Tower, Cannon, Mortar, and then up at the top, just a Cannon, an Archer Tower, and a Tesla. Yeah, there's nothing that can stop us. We're going to absolutely wreck this base. So So if you can identify single Infernos, like I said, that's definitely ideal for this attack. It'll still work against multi-Infernos. You just get more value out of your bats against the single Infernos. Obviously, I don't really need to say that because most people already know that. We're just going to cruise through. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 Super Yetis, a normal Yeti. We've got our Warden still healthy, our Queen still full health. We still have a healer in there from our healer puppet, from our Queen. And that base was absolutely crushed. So that's going to do it for attacks in this video. This is one of my favorite types of attack strategies, just these bat waves, but instead of waiting and sending your bats on their own, I like just sending them with your main push and catching them in the Warden ability. It's just really fun to use, very simple, really hard to mess up. So it's one of my favorite attacks in the game right now for lower Town Hall levels. So let me know how it works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.